Hello, good afternoon. Welcome today on the Culture News. My name is David Serero, and I'm very, very happy and honored to have on the phone today the wonderful, the unique singer, Mrs. NICHELLE Colvin. How are you, NICHELLE, today?
I am excellent and so happy to be on the air with the culture. And thank you so much.
Oh, my dear, it is a pleasure, a privilege, and an honor. NICHELLE, my dear, listen to me carefully. I listened to your music. I became addicted of your music. It's been such a long time that I haven't heard not only a singer who could put her voice so well on the music, who could say a story, but the background, the music is so elegant, so sexy, so, it has a touch of soul. I mean, we're going to talk about it, but it has a touch of soul, of R&B music, and I hope you will allow me to say even smooth jazz at some point. And Where did you find those Rhodes chords that you put? It is just amazing. Congratulations, NICHELLE. This is a fantastic album called Evolving RLM. Congratulations. So, my dear NICHELLE, for the very few people who don't know you, I'm sure there is one or two somewhere in Alabama, maybe. Why don't you tell us where you come from and what brought you to music, basically?
Okay, I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, and the hometown of Michael Jackson and the Jacksons.
Oh, yeah, I know that, yeah.
and of course, they would be one of the biggest influencers for my music. And in the era, pretty much when I was raised, I pretty much grew up in a time when you didn't have just one type of music on the radio, but you had pretty much everything. You had R&B, you had jazz, you had rap. So there was such an eclectic background of music that I just soaked it up pretty much like a sponge. So I would say the biggest influencers would be, again, the Jacksons. And then I also grew very attached to singers like Anita Baker, Phyllis Hyman, also singers, of course, people like not so much jazz, but eclectic like Barbra Streisand. So I have a very large range of music that has cultivated my sound. And more recently, I try to stay away from radio so much so that my voice and my sound can be more pure.
But not our radio, right? Only the other radios, not ours, right?
Yes, no, not yours, of course.
I'm just kidding.
But yes, that is pretty much the background that led me to the source that you have, because as a singer, as a musician, I feel we have a responsibility to tell a story and to tell the story of your age and to give people something to listen to and something of soulful and not just of noise.
Yeah, I totally agree with you when you said you listened to so many music when you grew up, because what I always say is that if you want to be a good writer, you need to have a lot of vocabulary, and by having a lot of vocabulary, you need to read many books, but once you have found your identity, which you did, you want to stay away from all of that, because otherwise every song is influenced by that one, and then you lose your identity. So, well, there must be some good genes in Gary, Indiana, because between you and the Jackson, I think when I would have a child, I would make sure that he would get born over there, because I want him to be as talented, or her as talented as you are, because that's really beautiful. I felt also when you named the Anita Baker, I heard also some Yolanda Adams, some Patti LaBelle also type of voice, but yet again, Nichelle, you really have really your own identity. It has also a touch of the 90s, if you will allow me to say, beginning of the 2000 when music was still music.
Right,
just,
right.
Just
Absolutely.
one chord and then buy a loop on internet and play with it. No, it was at the moment where R&B was really R&B, and I'm so glad to hear your music. I was like, oh, finally. And the Lord has heard my praise. And I wanted to ask you something, Michelle. Do you write your own music?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And that is, I do pretty much everything, the background vocals, everything you hear will be pretty much me.
Wow.
As far as the production, I used to produce my own music, gotten a little lazier recently because I get music thrown at me so much because a lot of talented musicians out there say, hey, I love your voice. I want to hear you on my track. And more recently, I've stayed with the producers such as So For Real Production, which is the majority of the tracks that you hear on there, and a talented musician by the name of Aaron B. He calls himself Aaron the Titan. He's from Chicago, Illinois. So I deal with the real music, so I like to have a certain texture when I'm listening to it. And I consider myself not of one genre, but pretty much a singer-songwriter. So I like to hit the big spectrum. And so if a person is listening to me, they're going to hear a story, and the music is pretty much the transportation. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Because let me tell you, the songs, What We Gonna Do, Down on You, Tell Me What You Want, Evolving R&M, those are really genius songs. I'm sure that, a lot of people make out on your songs, so
right.
they're really, it's nice that you work with all the producers. Like when you hear, because you spoke about the Jackson, when you hear, Michael Jackson is very talented, of course, but I mean, when he worked with another great producer like Quincy Jones, we know, Off the Wall and Thriller, is a great success. So that's definitely a good thing. So I wanted to ask you, what brought you to music? I mean, I know did you have somebody in your family, like your mom who was a singer or something like that?
My mom, well, I guess it would be more of a spiritual that really brought me to it. I grew up in the church. My mom would sing around the house. My father, he was in a group. I didn't know it until when I was older, but he was in a group. So I guess it was just pretty much in my genes and something that was going to happen. There have been times when I felt as though, hey, nothing's going to happen with the music, so maybe I should quit. But then there's something in you that just will not allow you to stop. So I feel as though it's my calling, and so I'm going to be the one that's putting out the music that actually means something and gives a message to the people.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, a lot of spirit is in your songs, let me tell you that.
Yes,
that's really,
absolutely.
really so beautiful. And I was talking about those roads, chords that are there, how much it gives the mood to the whole song, and your voice is coming on it. So sexy, so yet full of body. It feels really, really good. Really, congratulations, Nichelle.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. And I haven't heard something like that for a long time. I wanted to ask you something. And trust me, I go out. I wanted to ask you also, so where are you based now in America?
I'm in Illinois. I'm in the Illinois area, a suburb of Illinois, right outside of Chicago. It's a small town. It's Plano, Illinois right now. So I'm kind of in between Gary. I'm probably about 2 hours away. So I am in Illinois. Not sure how long I'll be here. It all depends, but right now I'm in Illinois.
Well, that's very good. And any plans that you're coming to New York?
I've been in New York, actually filmed my first video there, and I'm actually preparing to do another video. I'm gonna I don't want to give too much away on this one, but one of the songs that I've done a while ago that people seem to graph to, called Touch Me Right. I'm going to go ahead and do a video for that that's going to be kind of elaborate, kind of out there, because it's pretty much like the music nowadays. I feel as though the videos are pretty much the same thing. It's just, for lack of a better word, just more sex and not telling a story. So I'm preparing to do something of that nature. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Yeah, but that's fantastic, because when you come to New York, I definitely want to meet you. And if you do some shows in New York, we're definitely going to push it, because any plans of any tour next?
Yes, I got to get a band together. Another project that I've done has been with a gentleman called Mike Carson. He's a saxophonist, and his album Signature is out as well. And so me and him, we're talking about getting a band together so that we can start touring, because I'm starting to get more and more requests. So that's in the works as well. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll give you information on that as well when that comes.
Oh, yeah, please, because I'm sure, when we will play your music, there will be a lot of requests, and people want to go to see you in New York or in Chicago or in LA or in Atlanta, because really your music is absolutely phenomenal. So what is next for you? What is your next thing besides having your wonderful album Evolving RLM? What is next for you?
Okay. I constantly write, so I don't really put too much of a timetable on things. But I know right now, before the year is out, I've got quite a few things going on, but I want to finish up my jazz album, going back to that. So,
I'm sorry, Sri. It's a jazz album. You want to do you're going to sing some standards on it?
I'm looking into a remake, doing Under the Moon and Over the Sky. Hopefully that will be all right. But other than that, it will be all originals. I pretty much pick the originals because I've got so much music inside of me that it's
we want to hear we want to hear the new stuff. But that would be also original to hear you on one or two standards. But but to hear originals in jazz music is so. It's so rare. This is why I asked you. This is standards or original. So I really, really can wait. And it all came from jazz, right?
Right.
The soul, R&B, the nines that you add on your chords. It all comes from the 2-5-1. So it all comes from jazz in a way. So so the jazz album is next, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Good, and hopefully a tour where we are going to be able to upload you. So just to let you know, if you see a crazy man on the first row when you do a concert, it will be me. Okay, it will be me. And then on the second row and third row, it will be all my family. Okay, because everybody here is crazy of your music, and it's the kind of music that we can listen to it at every hour of the day. The night is always better for R&B, but that's between us. But, and all the press is crazy about you, the critics, the reviews, and also most importantly, the audience who is following you and loves you and adore you exactly the same way we do here at Culture News. So, my dear Nichelle, a million thank you for taking out of your busy schedule to come here on the Culture News to talk on the great, great, great album, Evolving RLM. Guys, please go to buy it, because trust me, you will do something for your heart. If you have a heartbreak, you're going to listen to your music. It will make you regret if you had an argument with your girlfriend. This is, we should, I can even buy it with my health insurance. It should be reimbursed by on the taxes because it feels really, really good. So, my dear Nichelle, congratulations again for your beautiful music, for your wonderful talent, and let me tell you guys, we found that today that in Gary, Indiana, there are some good musical genes. So, my dear Nichelle, the doors of the Culture News are open to you 24/7. And the next time, your next album, or when you do a tour, please feel free to send us a message, and you will be our guest as always.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you so much. It's great to be appreciated, to know that your music is loved, and to know that staying true to the actual real music, real reason why music should be put out there, to give people some thought, because it's such a powerful tool, and you need to put it out there to feed the people, to give them something to hear, to uplift them, or to have something to think about. So thank you for showing your appreciation.
Oh, my dear, the thank you is really for you, because it's your music that gives us the desire to do things. So it all came because of you. So a million times thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, all great things have an end. So even your album, Michelle, has an end, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So my name is David Serero, and it was on the Culture News, and we had the pleasure to have the wonderful Nichelle Colvin. Nichelle, Nichelle, Colvin, Colvin. Listen and buy, most importantly, her wonderful album, Evolving RLM. This is a fantastic music. You will not regret it. Thank you so much, Nichelle, and see you soon on the Culture News.
And thank you so much, David, and thank you for everyone out there for showing your support and love.
Our pleasure. Thank you, dear.